Hey, my name is Todd. I wasn't sure if I was going to make a video of this hike. You can tell I'm huffing and puffing. I'm about a mile, maybe almost a mile and a quarter up the trail in Elkhart Park in the Wind River Range. And I'm doing a 6-day, 5-night solo trip, hoping to catch some golden trout among other things. It's one of the first, maybe one of the last, I guess, big meadows that you come to as you nearly reach the crest of the trail before you have some options. I am planning to camp tonight, hopefully at Mary's Lake. Going to go into Upper Cook Lakes the next day. Maybe fish at Tommy Lake the following day over Lester Pass. Come back along Little Seneca Lake, Hobbs Lake. And then I think on the way back I'm going to take the Miller Sweeney Trail back to the trailhead. And anyway, that's the plan. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for watching. I am carrying a lot of weight because I'm 6'5", 285. And I guess because I can, I do. It's probably not wise. I do have a lot of extra fishing gear because I brought a fly rod for the first time. I'm new to fly fishing, and brought my spinning rod with probably a few too many lures. And anyhow, it's going to be a great time. Okay, I'm going to keep walking here and show you. A few years ago, I can't remember how many years. Maybe I'll look it up online, but maybe 6 years ago, maybe 5. There was a crazy windstorm that came through here, and all of these trees were blown over. Many of them were dead at the time, and all of these trails over here on this west side of the Wind River Range were just bogged down with this, as you can see. Some places, look how high this would have been to try to work your way around. We were actually going to backpack in here that very weekend when some of this was happening, and wound up having to change our plans. But you can just see just a gnarly mess that this would have been with all these trees knocked down. They had a pretty gnarly thunderstorm roll through here earlier today. It was before I got on the trail, but you can see that there's just puddles all along here, standing water that is just evidence of how much water can come down in a short amount of time at these high elevations. I think that we are due for a few more thunderstorms throughout the week. The forecast calls for a 3 or 4 hour period almost every afternoon where there's a chance for some pretty good thunder and lightning. And so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out over the course of these next few days. My intent is to be moving camp each day. Sometimes I like to base camp and just go to a spot and then day hike out to different lakes. And I may do more of that next week. I'm doing another trip, kind of 2 5-night trips back to back. This one I'm doing solo. Next week I'll be with some other friends. But we will probably not be moving every night when we go on that trip. Anyhow, I will tell you more about some of the gear I'm using a little as we get to camp, and show you a little bit about how I like to do things. Yeah. Keep watching if you're interested. If this isn't your jam, then no problem. My kids will watch it. Anyhow, I'm at the meadow back there where I said I was nearing the crest of the hill. I was a little bit off. I've come a fair distance since then, and it certainly has become more level now, but pretty much a steady uphill. It's nothing you can't handle. Steady uphill for a couple miles, and yeah, we started a little late in the day. It was about 4:30 when I started walking, and it is now 5:40, and my thought is to try to arrive at a campsite hopefully by about 7:30. That'll leave me with about an hour plus for the sun to go down. All right, so I am at a trail fork, but this is kind of the first time that the trail really begins to open up. That first, I've probably gone almost 3.5 miles. It's pretty, you're hiking through the thick woods, like those trees like that, and then those couple clips I showed you. And you don't see a whole lot. And then you get here and things kind of open up, and there's a pretty extensive meadow and it goes down for quite a ways. Trail forks right here. This sign here shows you that goes to Miller Lake. Eckland Lake is this way. This is the route I'm going, and then this is back to the trailhead. And been interesting. I've run into a few people hiking out. Right now it's like 6:10 p.m. and I don't know why I'm a little surprised, but there's more people heading out. I guess I would have thought they were headed out earlier in the day, but I've passed an interesting variety of people. One guy that's doing the Continental Divide Trail told me he started in Mexico. He's done about 1,800 miles or something like that. He's headed into Pinedale, Wyoming to resupply. I actually offered, I said, why don't you just, he was concerned about finding a hitching a ride to town. I said, let me just give you the code to my truck. You can drive it down to town and bring it back tomorrow and just park it. The keys are in it. It just has a code on the door. He actually thought about it, and I would have let him if he'd asked for it, but he turned me down. And then just past some glaciologists. The one dude had a pack. It must have weighed, it looked like it was a 100-pound pack. A bunch of instruments and samples and various things. And then I've passed multiple climbers, mountain climbers from the same group that had come in here to summit Gannett Peak, which is, if I'm not mistaken, the highest peak in Wyoming. So anyhow, they actually didn't get to go up due to some health issues of one in the party. Everybody's okay, but they cut their trip a little short. Anyhow, it's a beautiful night. The rain just, everything's just so clean and clear. You can still see a lot of clouds in the sky there behind me. But it's cool. The bugs are out in full force. But that's what you get this time of year around here. So anyhow, onward and upward. All right, so it's I've been in the hike probably 5+ miles. This view behind me is pretty incredible. I don't know all the names of those peaks back there, but pretty awesome. This is kind of a converging of a trail. There's a little lake here. Trail goes off that way. I just came from a trail that way. Over here is what they call Photographer's Point. I did not go there tonight. I just thought I could save a few minutes going this way. I've still got about a mile to go, and I need to beat this. Okay, that was, I'm sorry, I didn't give you any updates before I went to bed. Had a little spot here. I was probably a little too close to the trail, but at least I was far enough away from the lake. This is Mary's Lake. I had intended to fish here, but in my wandering around the shore a little bit and getting water last night, I'm not sure there's many fish in there. I've not seen one fish jump last night or today. Now, you know, most of these lakes do have fish, so I could be wrong. Anyhow, I'll be out here a few more nights, so I'll do a little camp chat, show you my tent, my gear, just what works for me. And anyway, thanks. All right, so here I am at Lake Nelson. You can see what's up above me. I am in this little cubby underneath the rock. Seems like it's built just for me. It was hailing a minute ago. Beautiful, beautiful place, but a little wet right now. Some people right in the center of the screen climbing Lester Pass. Right there. See the trail. Let's see. Somewhere right down there. So these images are from the hike, starting from beginning towards the end. That's on the approach. This is Mary's Lake, the first lake that I camped at. Another view of Mary's Lake. This is on the Pole Creek Trail. There's me at a trail junction to Cook Lakes. This is Pole Creek. That was the Pole Creek crossing. Here I am approaching the Cook Lakes area. Beautiful lower Cook Lake. Some shots from my time there at Cook Lakes. Then I headed up the trail towards Tommy Lake. That's my first view of Tommy Lake, where I would camp for 2 nights. Had incredible views looking towards the lake and looking south towards Angels Pass there. That notch in the middle of the frame is Angels Pass. More shots of Tommy's Lake. Went on some day hikes up and around doing a little fishing. Made my way up to Lake Nelson. Saw some real panoramic views. There's Lake Nelson. There's a view of Lester Pass, looking south towards my campsite right there, my campsite down in those trees. There's a fish I caught at Tommy Lake. Tommy Lake is off the trail. You gotta hike down just a little bit down the hill. The trail comes right near there, but didn't seem to see many hikers or fishermen stopping along their way. Beautiful country. This deer paid me a visit. That deer lingered around camp for quite a while. Here I am on top of Lester Pass looking south. And then that is a view around Lester Pass and the Lester Pass sign. This is a view to the north, kind of a panoramic view. There I am at the sign at Lester Pass. This is looking north towards Fremont Peak. These are the lakes north of Lester Pass. and on towards the Titcomb Basin up that way. Took a few more photos at the trail junction to Island Lake. These are pictures on my hike. This is Hobbs Lake, where I stayed the last night, and then hiked from Hobbs Lake the 7 miles back out to the trailhead, or 6 miles. This is Photographer's Point towards the end of my hike. Stopped to take a few pictures. It was a wonderful trip. Thank you for watching.